The gavel drops, Washington gasps. Folks, you are not going to believe this. The Supreme Court just dropped a bombshell. A decision so big, it sent shockwaves from K Street to Pennsylvania Avenue. The highest court in the land has spoken, and what they said has thrown everything into utter chaos. The Supreme Court has invalidated President Trump's brand new super controversial tariffs. Yes, you heard me right. Those tariffs that were supposed to make America great again, gone. Poof, vanished. The decision came down hard and fast, described by insiders as a bombshell. This ruling isn't just about tariffs, it's about power. The implications are staggering, potentially leading to what some are already calling a constitutional crisis. America first are all wet. Now let's rewind a bit. Remember those tariffs? President Trump rolled them out starting in February of this very year, 2025. He slapped a 10% baseline tariff on almost all our trading partners. No one was safe. Then, for an unlucky 57 countries, he unveiled even higher reciprocal tariffs. The stated goal was pure America first goodness. Protect American manufacturing, reduce that pesky trade deficit, bring jobs back to the good old US of A. To make all this happen, President Trump used the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEPA. The administration argued this act gave them the authority to impose these sweeping tariffs. They declared various emergencies, the opioid crisis, illegal immigration, those ever-present trade deficits as justification. Critics immediately raised red flags. They warned that these tariffs weren't a silver bullet, but a potential economic hand grenade. Robes versus the Donald, who wears the pants? So why did the Supreme Court bring down the hammer? It all boils down to one little book, folks, the US Constitution. The core issue is that the Constitution grants Congress, not the President, the power to levy taxes and impose tariffs. Article 1, Section 8, for those of you playing along at home. The Supreme Court essentially said, hey, remember checks and balances? Yeah, those are still a thing. The court's decision highlighted improper legislative procedures. The justices likely invoked something called the major questions doctrine. This means that for big, economically significant actions, executive agencies need clear, explicit authorization from Congress. Then there's the non-delegation doctrine, another constitutional goodie. The court essentially reasserted that there are rules to this game, and even the president has to play by them. Section 4. The Donald Unchained. Total witch hunt. Vows Tariff War 2.0. Well, folks, you can imagine how this went down at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Spoiler alert, not well. President Trump and his administration didn't just disagree with the Supreme Court's decision, they went full-on ballistic. Reports are flooding in that the president is, to put it mildly, displeased. He has reportedly labeled the ruling a blatant attack on American sovereignty and economic independence. Strong words. The official statements from the White House are dripping with defiance. They have vowed to fight back. Fight back against whom, you ask? The Supreme Court? The Constitution? Good luck with that. This sets the stage for an unprecedented clash. The confrontation brewing is more than just a legal tiff, it's a fundamental struggle over the separation of powers. Section 5, Economic Earthquake, your wallet, the world, and what the heck happens now? So, the tariffs are dead, for now. What does this mean for your wallet, for American businesses, and for our place in the world? Well, first, let's breathe a collective sigh of relief for our bank accounts. Critics of the tariffs were painting a pretty grim picture. Higher prices on everyday goods were a major concern, as companies facing increased import costs would likely pass them on to us, the consumers. And it wasn't just about higher prices at the checkout. A Yale University model predicted these tariffs could trigger increased inflation, lead to nearly 800,000 job losses, and shrink the U.S. economy by a whopping $180 billion annually. This Supreme Court decision might have just saved us from a very bumpy economic ride. But hold on, what about those America First goals? The whole point of the tariffs, according to the administration, was to protect American manufacturing and bring jobs home. With the tariffs struck down, what happens to those aspirations?